Good afternoon, everyone. Today, myself, Dr. Sanjukta Kaur, junior residency. I'm doing junior residency in ophthalmology in Calcutta National Medical College, Kolkata, with my co-author, Dr. Partha Sharathi Roy, associate professor of Calcutta National Medical College, Kolkata. We'll be presenting a case of atypical optic neuritis due to tuberculosis. The patient came with a 28 years old female patient, presented with dimness of vision, left eye, for the last 7 days, the onset of which was gradual and painless in nature. She has a past history of being admitted in chest department 1 month back, where she was diagnosed with pulmonary tuberculosis, and ATD was started, and she was discharged with an advice to attend IOPD for her visual symptoms, which started merely 3 days before discharge. On examination, in the right eye, visual acuity was 6/6. In the left eye, it was 6/36, which improved to 6/18 with pinhole. Anterior segments of both the eyes were normal. RAPD was present in left eye. The color vision, right eye was normal, but she could not interpret and read some colors and patterns of Ishihara's chart with the left eye. On fundus examination, right eye was normal. Left eye, VCDR was 0.3 to 0.4:1. Macula normal. Disc margin was nasally blurred in the left eye. This is the fundus picture of the left eye showing the blurred disc margin. We went for the following investigations in which the VEP was prolonged with P100 latency in the left eye. We did contrast sensitivity, perimetry, OCT, RNFL was done. The MRI brain showed right frontal lobe infarct, and HRCT thorax showed hilar lymphadenopathy with bilateral upper lobe mixed density lesions. Blood work were done, which are all within normal limits. Serology was non-reactive. Chest X-ray PA view was done, and her sputum AFB came to be positive. This is the VEP picture showing prolonged P100 latency of the left eye. And this is the chest X-ray of the patient, PA view. In the management, patient was started ATD in the chest department. My provisional diagnosis is atypical optic neuritis in a case of pulmonary tuberculosis. Now coming to the summary of the case, a 28 years old female patient presented at IOPD with dimness of vision in the left eye for the last 7 days, the onset which was gradual and was not associated with pain. She was admitted in chest department where she was diagnosed with pulmonary tuberculosis, and ATD was started. On discharge, she was advised to attend the IOPD. These are the differential diagnoses, which are AION, chronic papilledema, severe systemic hypertension, orbital tumor compressing optic nerve, Leber's optic neuropathy, toxic optic neuropathy, and intracranial mass compressing afferent pathway. My take-home message is, it is emphasized in this presentation that atypical optic neuritis should be differentiated carefully from typical optic neuritis. Any deviation from the features of typical optic neuritis should arouse the suspicion of atypical optic neuritis, and battery of tests should be done to unmask the diagnosis, which in most cases is infective in origin, like tuberculosis in the present case. Thank you.
What were all the atypical features in this case?
So here my patient...
Before we go to atypical feature, what do you think are the typical optic neuritis features?
In the typical optic neuritis, there is pain on eye movement.
Okay.
And there is gradually, on starting of the treatment, there is improvement in vision. And there are normally no fundus specific findings are not present in typical optic neuritis. And it affects...
It depends on where is the optic neuritis. If it is RB neuritis, you may not see anything.
Pardon, sir?
If it is retrobulbar neuritis, you may not see anything.
Yeah. Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
The optic disc appears normal in retrobulbar.
Yeah.
One more thing you told us, that there will be a response to treatment on starting it. Sometimes it just improves spontaneously. Even if you don't start any treatment, it is going to improve. It was not I don't, you are stating that this was in case of atypical optic neuritis, but if you see, the patient's age is 27. She's relatively...
Yes, the age is not matching and
she's
the
relatively
gender
young.
is also not matching. Just like
No, but-
there was no pain.
But pain is not an essential feature of optic neuritis. It may or may not be there sometimes. Secondly, one more thing.
Even if you see the pain in optic neuritis, when do you see most often in optic neuritis? Which eye movement causes more pain in optic neuritis? Elevation, abduction, adduction, which movement of the eye causes and why?
The medial rectus and the superior rectus when gets
Medial and
involved.
so looking inwards and looking up causes maximum pain because that's where the thing is closely attached to the
to the optic
meninges.
sheath and meninges. Okay.
So you ask the patient to look up and medially, if there is pain, that's one. Second important point is retropulsion of the globe causes pain. If you press the globe backwards, it should cause deep-seated pain. That shows that it is most probably.
Yes.
The third feature is RAPT. Yes?
Then, what were the MRI findings in your case? You didn't discuss much. That
There were
in detail.
infarcts.
There were infarcts. And what
Yes.
about the optic nerve as such? Was there any enhancement?
No, no, no,
No.
no.
There was no enhancement of the optic nerve. Okay, that is quite unusual.
Unusually.
Because optic nerve usually enhances if there is an inflammation. Then did you do any CSF analysis in this case?
No CS analysis.
No, that should have been done to
That should have
label
been
it
done,
completely as tuberculosis. Because it can also be toxic optic neuropathy at times due to drugs like ethambutol and isoniazid. So I think CSF analysis
CSF analysis should have been done.
Sir, what do you suggest?
They should have done CSF.
Yes, and third thing is, if your case has an atypical optic neuritis caused due to tuberculosis, as you have tentatively diagnosed, I think steroids along with ATT should be started.
But the only difficulty is in assigning this to the tubercular cause. This could be a separate etiology altogether, not related always to tuberculosis.
That's why CSF analysis would have been more conclusive.
More useful in this case. Okay, that's additional take-home measures for next time presentation. Okay? You can go. Well done.
Thank you, sir.